Hello everybody and welcome back to the next Transformers Studio Series video. And in this video I will be reviewing Studio Series number 86 Leader Class Autobot Grimlock with Autobot Wheelie. Now before we start a review and everything, I'm just going to tell you the contents of this video. In this video there will be no comparing, unfortunately, as this is actually my first 86 figure I have ever collected. And if I did have more, I would compare, but at the moment I do not. But once I get more 86 figures, I will do more comparing in those. Now, also that we're going to transform him from robot to dinosaur and then dinosaur back to robot. And then we're going to go over the features, the accessories, and how this figure is actually my second favorite figure that I have in my collection so far. Okay, let's get to it. So now here we have Autobot Wheelie in his robot form. He can't transform. Unfortunately, this Wheelie version cannot transform. He's more of an accessory and a little companion toward the Grimlock, this figure, and not like a transformer that transforms. Although if he was sold individually, I would price this guy at like at least $5 if he was sold individually. And now his joints are pretty movable, pretty nice and everything. His arms, his elbow arm cannot move. Unfortunately, it's just like a piece of plastic connected to this ball joint right here that can rotate in 360 degrees and can deattach right here. But all you gotta do is just clip it in. His head connected to a ball joint as well, can rotate side to side, up and down. Can even do a 360 turn right here. His legs actually cannot bend. They're more of a kind of like a type that like doesn't move. They're mostly in a position when someone is just like sitting down on a chair or something. They're mostly in that position, and unfortunately they cannot bend. And now let's take a look at the back of his legs. And right here we can see that there is a slight tab right here on the back right here that will actually connect to Grimlock when sitting down on his shoulder. Like I said before, his feet cannot bend, but it would be pretty cool if he did. And I wonder if they make an upgrade kit for this figure to actually give him a new pair of legs and a new pair of arms. Now his final arm right here, we can see that it just moves in about like just 360 degrees, like around like that. And one thing that I do like is that this little slingshot thing is detachable, and then his hand is empty. But I do recommend that you don't take it off, because it's a very high risk that you could lose it and everything. And then right here in the middle of his body, there is a joint that can rotate 360 degrees as well. But I really do like this minifigure that came with him, and I think it's pretty nice of what Hasbro has created for this figure, and actually very accurate. The base paint is actually gray, and then the rest is a slight bit of pink right here, and the rest is orange. And I really do love this red Autobot logo right here, and even the face. Hold on, let me wait for my camera to focus. Even the face is very detailed. Like, we can see his eyes and everything, his head, everything on this figure is very detailed. I really do love this figure. And one thing that actually did make me kind of question the existence of this figure is why does it have this little tab right here? If nothing is going to tab into it or on the legs at all, I think it's to show that it does connect to a joint. But I wonder if the Hasbro did that on purpose so that if an upgrade kit does get released, it can attach right here or something like that, you know? Okay, so now let's put Wheelie to the side, and now let's look at Grimlock. So here we have Grimlock in his robot form. He is an Autobot, one of the very few Autobots that can turn into a dinosaur. He is actually the only Dinobot from the 86 toy line, the Studio Series 86 toy line that we've gotten so far, and I cannot wait to see what other Dinobots Hasbro will give to us. For example, like Slug, Swoop, or any other Dinobots that I'm actually really looking forward to seeing. I really do love this figure. I really do love all the details that is included on him, especially the hands, everything, his chest, his face, actually. And then right now we're gonna go over his accessories and everything. So right here we have a blaster accessory that's just a nice piece of plastic, very hard, cannot bend like a rubberized plastic like we got for Topspin's weapons. But it cannot bend. It's actually very hard plastic that is actually very good. I really do like this plastic that is used. His arm joints are like those kind of joints that make that noise when they're rotating, and so do his knees, but like very slight. You can't really hear it that much, but I really do like that it has all these nice joints in it. The wrists can rotate at like a good 360 degrees all around. It can rotate. I think it's pretty nice that what Hasbro has done for this figure, that even these little parts that are going to become the feet later on in the review can even go like that and like that. That's the limit. They can bend down so that his fists could be sharp. I do recommend that if you want it like this, it's okay, but if you do want to kind of make it look like he has something like more transformed around the arm, yes, then do it. His waist right here can rotate in 360 degrees, but I don't get why Hasbro did it like this when it isn't really necessary in transformation. You don't really need to use this whole area in transformation. The legs, I really do like the colors and everything, and the sides and everything. I really do wish that this was kind of yellow and transparent as shown in the prototype. I will show you the box later on in the review and about everything. I really do like that everything looks kind of how he did in the Transformers, the movie from 1986, and I really do like this figure. Is like very accurate. That even his head right here, even his head is actually is kind of shaded in blue, which is pretty accurate. I think this is one of the best Transformers. The best Transformers Studio Series Hasbro has ever produced. Okay, now let's take a look at the back. The back is a bit nice. I just have some issues that these fingers are just like, they look like they're in the way. I wish Hasbro found out a way to like have them tuck in, or this piece to just blend in right here, so that it won't look, so that the front won't look all like something's in the way. So because from the front it looks like a shell former, which is like a transformer that like the back is like a shell, but in reality he's just your average transformer. But I really do wish Hasbro did something right here so that you won't be like, so that you won't feel like that something's in the way. The back of the feet are pretty nice and everything. You can see some screws right here around the back part of his waist, and even the T-Rex head that I will show later on in the review. And I think that's all the details we need to cover of Grimlock. I really do like, by the way, I really do like that the arms, like I said before, are actually very posable, and then that these joints right here are kind of secured, that when you put them like this, you just need to apply a little bit more pressure than usual to take them off like this. Depends if your figure is loose or tight or whatever. The legs are pretty nice, and one thing that I really do like is that these part of the feet look like he can't stretch all the way, and even this little area of plastic right here, it can give you the illusion that his feet stretched a bit, and the transformation is connected right here and everything, and that I really do like that the figure does look like that. Okay, so let's get started with the transformation. So the first thing you're gonna do is, because when you first get the figure in the box, you're gonna see it somewhat like this. You're gonna see the figure somewhat like this. So what I recommend doing first is getting his hands, tuck them inside. Oh, and one thing I do need to mention is that this little thing is just hollow. It's for the hands to go in, but personally I would prefer if it had something to cover here and had something that went inside here, and so that it won't be hollow when it's in robot form. Okay, so you know this, so you know that it goes inside, and anybody who knows how to transform Autobot, Grimlock, and other toy series like Power of the Primes or any others, pretty much know the basics of how to transform this one and everything. So let's continue with the transformation. You pretty much slide this hand inside. Make sure that the hands, the claws, are facing like this. Okay, and I do recommend, as you go to the back, to move the hands up for an easier transformation, and make sure these pieces are also moved up so it can be easier. All right, and then here's the part that you've got to do. You get this part of his foot, then you move this part, this little tab area. You make sure that it goes right here. Although one thing I really am having a bit of like about this figure is that that it doesn't click on any slot at all. It just closes right there. I really wish Hasbro could have done better on that, but overall this is a nice figure. Then you get his tail area. Well, this is gonna be his tail. Then you make sure that it clicks, like you make sure it goes like that. Then after this black area will separate from this plastic area that you do like this. And then we can clearly see right here there are 2 tabs on his feet and 2 tabs right here. So then you're gonna have to fold in, you're gonna have to make sure that these tabs do touch together. And then you're gonna repeat the same process to the other side. You're gonna have to put this down and then move the tail somewhat of a upward position. Then after that you do the same thing with, you're gonna have to slide this part in like that, similar to how Studio Series number 13 and 31 Megatron transform. You're gonna have to move the slots to the side for it to transform. Okay, so now you've got the base of the tail done. So now make sure all the slots are tight and everything to make this figure even more nice. After that, you make sure that these parts of the tail do collapse down, and then that they click together, and that the tail is now finished. Now I do recommend, if you do want to do a stop motion of Grimlock, to have his arms, which are the T-Rex part's feet, have it like that. Okay, and more or less we can see the shape of what the T-Rex is gonna be now. And okay, so then this yellow piece, this large yellow piece, which is connected to his arms, you're gonna have to move this yellow piece down. You're gonna have to move it down. Okay, so it was connected to this little area right here. Make sure you move it down like this. And then there are gonna be 2 little tabs right here on the tail that are gonna connect to this slot right here. And then after that you secure it, put it down, have it clear, make sure everything's nice and everything like that and there. Okay, so now make sure his feet are nice and everything. Okay, so now for the final steps. You get his head right here, you tuck it inside, and then you get these parts of the T-Rex body. You're gonna click them together. Make sure that they click, that they snap in place, and then after that you're gonna have to bring down Grimlock's head, and there you have him in his robot form, in his dinosaur form. And then after that, I do recommend, if you want to make him look like he is running, like how he looks like in his box art version, I do recommend moving the joints somewhat like this, a little bit like that, so that it could give you the illusion that he's running. but in reality he's not. And I do recommend opening his mouth, because his mouth can open so that it could look very cool, like he's roaring or something. And I wonder if you can see clearly, but in the back of his mouth there is a slight little slot circular that actually, if you do have some War for Cybertron toys that have a blast or fire effect that can fit inside there, only some of them can, but I think there is an upgrade kit that actually comes with some fire effects that actually go inside there. But that's just a recommendation. Unfortunately, I do not have any upgrade kits at the moment for Grimlock, but if I do get one, I would do a review about it and then talk to you about how this figure will even be the better figure in my collection. And I think there we have Grimlock in his robot form. Now, about attaching Wheelie. Okay, so you're gonna have to make sure Wheelie's legs are somewhat doing the splits like this. Then you're gonna notice that there are 2 tabs right here near the neck joint and right here on the other side. So, and then there are 2 little circular like slots on Wheelie's feet, both on the feet. You're gonna have to slide it inside. You're gonna have to slide it inside like this. It is incredibly kind of difficult to do it, but you can do it. You just have to make sure everything clicks, and there, you have him clicked inside. And there, you have Wheelie fully ready, and Grimlock as well. Now, to pose Wheelie, you can pose him in many ways. You can pose him in a way that he is looking toward someone like a Sharkticon and shooting at them with the slingshot and everything. So I really do recommend that you do move him around to make him look as accurate as possible. Even the head as well, and the waist as well. You can move it as around, play with it and everything. Now, about Grimlock's weapon, there are two little tabs on it that do connect to his feet right here. But I do recommend you are careful, because the small little tabs, if you pop it off so violently, they have a high chance to breaking if you pop it off like that, like whatever, like you think you're a pro at this, but no, you know. And then they're already secured in place. And there is Grimlock in his dinosaur form. I really do hope you enjoyed how to transform in his dinosaur form, and then right now we're going to transform him back in his robot form and everything. I just wanted to explain some things about the figure in his Dinobot form. I personally think that this is the best Grimlock ever made. I really do love the small little details and textures that Hasbro has put in here, everything. But I do wish that this neck was transparent like the prototype, and this yellow part as well. And I really do wish these were more of a stronger shade of yellow, not gold. But anywho, the tail is pretty nice and everything. I do like the tail and everything. I just feel like it is a bit fat, but overall, looking at Grimlock in his regular animated form, I believe this tail is accurate, but I just feel like it's too fat to be a dinosaur tail. His arms, they can move in about 360 degrees. These little joints right here, the elbow joints, can only move right here up to this length and up to that length. They can rotate out like at least 180 degrees, more or less. I really do like the feet and everything, but one thing that is kind of weird is that these toes can move, and I have found no way to pose him in a way where he's grabbing onto something. And one thing is the knees are really nice as well. You can have the knees posing as if as he's ready to fight someone or something, you know. You can have him like that or whatever. But I do recommend, for a more stable Grimlock, you do have his knees locked in so that it can be a bit more stable. Now, overall, this is actually my second most favorite figure in my collection. My first one is Devastator. My third one is battle damaged Megatron. Now, personally, I believe this figure is actually worth it and everything. All the details that are implied, even the eyes of Grimlock right here are actually shaded in a light shade of blue, as shown in the '86 movie, I believe. And everything is so nice and everything. It makes you really relive the 1986 Transformers movie. And I especially do love this Autobot logo that does appear on Grimlock's chest. And I believe that's all the details that we need to cover about his Dinobot form. And I really do like this figure, like I've said before. Now let's check out his box. So now we're just gonna take Grimlock out of the picture for a minute, and then I'm gonna show you the box. So now here we have Grimlock's box. All in all, I think this box is actually pretty nice, as the CGI, the animation on it, the giant 86 number on it, everything. The box is says 86 because it's based off the movie of the Transformers, the movie from 1986. There is a tiny little number right there that says 06. Well, the studios, the regular Studio Series and the 86 Studio Series is the same toy line, Studio Series, just that these are based off the Transformers of the movie Studio Series, and not Transformers Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, Age of Extinction, Last Night, or any of those. His backdrop actually makes you remember the scene when the Autobots did storm inside the quintessent judgment room. The side of the box is nice. We can see a nice 8606 logo on it. Grimlock right there. And now here's what I was talking about, the prototype of Grimlock. The things that are kind of different is that Wheelie's waist actually is a light shade of purple right here, and the actual figure is actually in black. The toes are a strong shade of yellow when the actual figure is actually gold. And right here, the neck part and this little part that is on Grimlock is actually transparent right here. Both versions are transparent, but this actual toy is actually has a bit of a darker shade on it. But I think Hasbro, what they were actually looking forward to is actually make him kind of look like how the box art does. But his iconic movie scene is the mockery of justice, where Grimlock and the Dinobots storm into the quintessent courtroom. And right here, one final part of the box is that we can see the large 86 number, and that his backdrop is actually quite different than the other backdrops. Well, and I'll show the backdrop in a moment right now. That they have the number 86 instead of the Autobot logo or the Constructicon logo as seen on our regular Studio Series strip backdrops. Now let's look at the backdrop. So now here we are taking a look at his backdrop. I really do love this backdrop. It is actually one of my favorite backdrops. That this whole backdrop actually will remind you about, if you did see the old Transformers movie, of the scene where the Dinobots do storm into the quintessent storeroom, judgment room, I mean, and that you can even pose Grimlock in a way so that it can look like he is in fact charging. But you can pose him in a way that it does kind of look like he's charging. Some contents about this is that he does have a number 86 right here. You can see the 8606 right there, his number. The Transformers, the movie logo right there. And everything. That this whole backdrop does remind you of the Transformers 86 movie. But if there is gonna be more 86 Transformers and more Dinobot Transformers for more specific reason, they might reuse this backdrop for their Dinobots, but except they're obviously gonna change the number and everything. And probably if they do release some Sharkticons, they might use a smaller backdrop for it and make they might make they might make them as deluxe class, which will only like contain 2 or 3 Sharkticons in one thing, you know. And overall, I think this backdrop is amazing. It actually makes you relive the whole Transformers movie and everything, and all the things about it. So now let's get to transforming him back into a robot. So now we have him here in his Dinobot form. Now, so the first thing you have to do to get him into robot form is remove Wheelie from his neck. So you're gonna have to reverse the process. You put him on, make sure that he does close somewhat like this, that his legs do look like this, so that he can perch on his shoulder. And then after that, you're gonna have to take Grimlock's hands, put them upward like this. This isn't necessary. This is a necessary step to do, but I do recommend you do it. After that, remove this part, this his weapon accessory. Like I said, do not yank it off. Carefully remove it, and then put it to the side for now. After that, you're gonna have to unfold this part right here. You're gonna have to open it up right here, so that it does look opened up. You do get his jaw. You do slide it down like that. Then after that, you get his regular head. You fold it out like that. Then you get this part, which is actually his chest. You're gonna have to take it out like that. And then there are gonna be two little tabs right here that are gonna connect to these two little slots. You just push it in like that. After that, separate his legs, which made the tail before. So separate these legs, and then after that, make sure that these parts unfold like that. Make sure that they unfold like that. Then after that, move his the black joint right here that does connect to these tiny little white joints right here. You do fold it in like that. Then after that, you push in the tail like that, and make sure it does go like that to make his foot. Then after that, you do this. You fold in the tiny little the sole of his foot. And after that, you're gonna do the same process to the second leg. You're gonna do the same thing that I did to the first one to the second one. And there, we have Grimlock's feet ready. And then now the last step is to take out his hands. Do the same process to this one, and there, you have Grimlock fully transformed in his robot form. But oh yes, and this little thing. Make sure that the back of the neck does clip in right there, and that these parts they do fold in somewhat like this. You do the same thing to this arm, and there. And now you have Grimlock in his robot form, fully transformed. Now for a final little part is that the installation of his weapon accessory. What you're gonna have to do is get his arm like this. Make sure that it does push inside this little slot. Let's go inside like that, and there. Unfortunately, he did not come with any swords or any other accessories. But if he did, this figure would top out in the first place in all of my Transformers. And then this little tab that is on Wheelie's feet right here, this little tiny circular slot, will insert inside his shoulder like that. Make sure that it does insert, and there, I believe you have made Studio Series number 8606 Dinobot Grimlock with Autobot Wheelie fully transformed. And now here we have Grimlock finally transformed. And I really do love this figure. Some things that did disappoint me is that he did not come with any other accessories such as fire sword or the fire his sword or anything. But one thing I really do like is that he's very, very detailed, better than any Grimlock toy we have ever gotten. I think Hasbro did a tremendous job on this figure. And now, as we are going to finish this review, I just wanted to say a few things that we will keep doing more Transformers Studio Series videos, and that please do subscribe, hit that notifications button, subscribe, leave a nice comment, leave a like. I will see you at our next Transformers Studio Series video, and the next video may or may not be about an 86 Transformer. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.